Hey team, it's Riley Plant here with Chris Simmons. We are going to demonstrate how to do a proper DM2 presentation, and this presentation will be based on our previous video, the DM1, so this same scenario, and we're going to present solutions and show the proper way to present this. Hey Riley, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. I know you took some time earlier this week, and we're here again, so I appreciate it. I want to go over the agenda for the day.
Okay.
We went back to our team yesterday and the day before, and we put together a custom proposal for you based on what you shared with us. So I'm excited to present those solutions to you and show you some ways that I really feel like we can help your business.
Perfect.
All right, and then so we're going to go through that. I'm going to present those solutions, and at the end, I'm going to ask for your business. If you think that I provided some value, is that fair?
Fair enough.
Cool. So let me just tell you first of all the program that we brought by, and a little bit more about who Colonial Life is.
Okay.
And so I brought this packet over for you. I was going to hand it over here.
Awesome.
And let me tell you about Colonial Life. So Colonial Life, we've been around over 80 years. Fortune 500 company, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, owned by Unum, the Unum Group. So we have strong financial backings and things like that. But really, we are an insurance company, but I like to say we're three companies in one. So you can see here, benefits communication. We are very big on benefits communication and education. We have the largest team of what we call benefits counselors, certified benefits counselors, and they meet the customers wherever they need, face-to-face, on-site, phone, virtual, however, to educate the employees so they make sure that they know what they're signing up for and how to use those benefits.
Okay.
So that's one way we're a company. The next way we're a company is a technology company. So you mentioned in our previous meeting that Susie may or may not be working, in the 1900s, what I like to say.
Yeah.
With her manual processes, which is fine. A lot of small companies, your size are still doing that. That's all right. But we have some proprietary software called Gather that I'm going to share with you a little bit later on. That's going to help, Susie's life, I believe,
Okay.
and make her a little bit happier and make y'all's processes a little more seamless. So
Okay.
excited to share that with you. And obviously, the third way we're a company is we have insurance products. It's not health insurance. We have all of the what we call ancillary or supplemental products to that, things like dental, vision, life insurance, disability, things like that. I never like to sell on products alone. I like to provide value and present solutions based on what you share. But our products are a big key of what we do and
Okay.
definitely help out.
All right.
So that leads me over here to the next page. You'll see here, this is a benefits wheel. All right, so in a perfect world, if you had a complete benefits program, you would have every box on this list checked. Currently, right now, you guys said you're obviously paying wages, so that's the most important one.
Yeah.
That's why people are coming to work and y'all been in business, so that's good. You do offer health and medical, dental and vision and life is what you shared with me. However, medical insurance, as you probably know, is like a Swiss cheese block. It's got a lot of holes in it. Over the years, more and more out-of-pocket costs are associated with having a medical plan. You mentioned to me in the first meeting that you used to pay a lot more for your employees.
Yeah.
You had to lower your participation to that. Is that correct?
It's going up every year.
So you understand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You said you've had to raise deductibles,
Yeah.
correct? And that's put your employees at more of a risk.
Yeah.
Whenever your deductible went from $3,500 to $5,000. I bet you didn't give everybody a $1,500 raise, right? When that happened.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in. So
Okay.
Colonial Life, these are all the products we offer, and we really take 4 out of the 7, components of a perfect benefits program, and we check those boxes there. So
Okay.
I brought over a partner flyer that I wanted to show you. This is the custom piece that I put together, and I wanted to highlight 3 different products
Okay.
based on our first meeting. You mentioned that you feel like the guys need more life insurance.
Definitely.
So Colonial Life has term and whole life insurance, term and whole life options for the employees that can be payroll deducted. Especially term insurance, is very inexpensive.
Okay.
They can pick up an additional however much they want up to $1 million, and they can be protected and have that come out of their paycheck. Very simple. The underwriting, there's no needles. You don't have to get poked or go get a physical. It's just simple underwriting questions and it's yes or no. So it's very easy to obtain.
All right.
Do you feel like that's something that the employees would like to see if they had the option?
Yeah, I mean, especially our middle-aged and older.
Sure.
Some of our young guys, they think they're bulletproof, but I don't think they understand the importance of it.
Sure.
So that's something I would definitely like to see is having some options there for that.
Absolutely. So the next plan I'll talk about is short-term disability. So you mentioned in our first meeting that the majority of your employees are head of household, so they're the leader in their family.
Yeah.
So if their income went away if they had to miss 2, 3, 4, 5 paychecks, they would be hurting. Correctly, their families would be hurting. So we offer short-term disability. What that plan does is it's simply insurance on their paycheck. They can get up to 60% of their income tax-free. They can choose that amount, and if they get sick or hurt and a doctor says, writes them a leave of absence, they file a claim with us, and they'll get paid that time that they're out.
Does that work kind of like workers' compensation?
So it's off the job. The plan I would propose for you would be off the job only, so it won't interfere with your workers' compensation if something were to happen. But if anything happened, like as far as an illness or something that wasn't job related, it would kick in and help them pay. You mentioned you've advanced some paychecks, you've helped some people out through some hard times. So this policy really gets you out of the banking business and puts that liability on Colonial Life and so very important policy. I think everybody should have that, unless you're independently wealthy.
Okay.
And the last policy I'll talk about, it's probably our most popular plan, is our accident plan. It covers on and off the job. So if someone were to get hurt on or off the job, it will have a dollar amount associated with that injury. You mentioned that a lot of them have families, so kiddos playing sports, breaking arms, things like that. This plan is a no-brainer.
So they can use this on their families?
Absolutely, yes. Okay. Yeah, they can choose to add their family to the plan, and they can cover themselves or their whole families. But it's a great plan. 1 in 8 people usually get in an accident a year. That's the stats. And so it's our most popular plan. It's very affordable. I think it's $4 a week. Something like that cost for an individual. And so that's another plan. I figured the guys getting hurt. You mentioned workers' comp. You mentioned I'm sure there's car crashes, things like that. So this plan is usually with the opportunity, people, it's a no-brainer for them.
Okay.
So I know I talked a lot about products right there. I don't ever want to bore products that can start getting eyes glazed over. But I just want you to have an understanding of this is not major medical insurance. What we offer, it fills in the gaps of everything that major medical doesn't cover. All right.
So if we were to do this plan, how much does that cost me?
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
I think you're gonna be excited. Yeah. Okay. I want to jump the gun, so I'm gonna get there here in a little bit if that's all right.
Yeah, perfect.
If that's all right. So you can see here, I just did highlight 3 products, but we offer all of these products alongside cancer, critical illness, specified disease, life, income protection, supplemental health.
Okay.
So that's that. Any questions so far regarding that?
So, if we wanted one of these other plans that are not on this, we have that option too.
Yes. So if we get down the road and you say this looks good, it's almost like a buffet menu. The employees, they pick and choose what they.
Oh, okay.
What they think is
so
best.
I don't have to select for them.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yep. So they get the options depending on the product mix we decide. You and I decide to put in, and they pick what's best for their families.
Okay.
There's no participation requirement. So if one person wants a life insurance policy and everybody else doesn't want anything, as long as you're willing to payroll deduct that, we can get that one person a life insurance policy.
Awesome.
And they can, unlike the current life that you have, all of our policies are portable. So if they were to ever leave the company, they can take that with them at the same rate they're paying to the company and keep it forever.
Okay.
So it's nice. Cool. So the next page, we're just moving along the packet here. Talk about tax savings. All right. Do you like paying more taxes or less taxes?
Less, absolutely.
All right, I do too. That's usually the answer.
That's a bad one. Yeah.
So what we can do is we can pre-tax most of our benefits,
Okay.
which basically the employees choose to take that out on a pre-tax basis. You're not paying FICA on the money they're putting towards these benefits, and they're not paying FICA.
Okay.
So every dollar you spend, I'm sure you cut a 0.65 cent check to the IRS on every dollar. Well, if they were putting that money towards benefits, that's money that you would save. So that saves you some money. It saves them a lot more, a significant more amount of money, 18-20%. So, and we also administrate that. So there's some compliance things around having a plan like that with the IRS. So we make sure that you guys are.
We're doing that with our health insurance.
You're pre-taxing?
Yeah, Susie.
Do you know if she has if she has a copy of y'all's Section 125 documents?
I'm sure she does.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can get with her and see.
I
if
tried to
y'all
get her in
can-
a meeting and she was too busy, so
No
I
worries.
told her I'd relate.
No worries. Yeah, whenever I was gonna get to talk about the technology, I was gonna ask if
Yeah.
Susie could come in because I feel like she was gonna be excited, but that's all right. I can get with her and see if she has a copy of those documents. A lot of times companies do, but they're out of date and so they're not in compliance. But that's the service that we offer to administrate and keep you in compliance.
How much does that cost?
We do that at no cost. It's part of our program.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So next, and we're almost done, is claims. So if your employees get these policies and they have to use them, how do they do that, right?
Yeah.
We have a very seamless claims process. We have an online portal. You can go, very user friendly. But also, if they don't want to do that, they have my number. They have everybody in my office's number.
Okay.
They have the number to claims at home office. So we want to make sure that somebody is there available to help them through that time. We have a 92% customer satisfaction rate on the claims process, and over 60% of our claims are paid within 5 days. So there's not a lot of time between. I say these policies are black and white. If this happens to you, you file a claim, get the paperwork together. It's going to pay you this amount, and it comes in a timely manner. So there won't be any issues there. And lastly, this is the part I was going to ask if Susie could come in on, but that's fine. Because I can get with her, one-on-one and do some demos and things like that. If you feel like this,
I kind of mentioned it to her the other day, and her eyes lit up.
Okay, cool.
So I'll definitely. Do I get to keep this? I can show this to her?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. So this is that technology piece I was telling you about in the beginning.
Okay.
So this is Gather. It's an HR/benefits administration system. So you mentioned that she's doing paper applications, correct, on the Blue Cross Blue Shield. Well, this is a way that we can digitize that enrollment. We can make everything, even your medical, we can load on this platform and we can come out and do the open enrollment with you, and it's all on paper app. So Susie doesn't have to chase anybody around, make sense of handwriting, scan anything. It's all in one place as far as the benefits.
So you guys do this, Susie doesn't have to do this?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So the benefits, that's the one side of it, the administration side. But the cool thing also, I think Susie will be equally excited about, is the HR portion of it. So there's an onboarding, there's a tool that's to streamline onboarding where you can upload employee handbooks, you can upload the documents digitally that people can log in and get that onboarding process done without having to sit there manually. It also stores employee records, so all those filing cabinets I see pass by in Susie's office, potentially maybe we could read those out and store everything on the cloud.
Well, I mean, this is kind of something we've wanted to do, but given how small we are, we haven't been able to afford it. But I know we're wanting to grow. I just don't know if spreadsheets is going to be the answer. Before we have to get that under control.
This is definitely a software.
And you said this is a no cost to it.
Yes. So this is something that we can bring alongside if you choose to do a program with Colonial Life.
Okay.
All right. So it does a lot of more cool things. It's a leave behind software, but if we're interested in learning more about that, we have teams, we have demos. I can get Susie on a call. We can get her set up. We can show her the platform. I can help with all that.
Awesome.
Cool. So I know I just shared a lot of information with you, and I know you mentioned cost. You mentioned the cost of this program, right? And so I wanted to ask you, if we did everything that I just told you. I know I threw out a lot. I threw out benefits counselors coming out and enrolling everyone. I threw out technology. I threw out tax savings. I threw out all these awesome products. How much do you think a program like this would cost your company a month?
Man, probably several thousand.
Okay. So the cool thing about our program is you are in total control of the cost.
Okay.
All right. There's probably not a lot of things. I know there's a lot of things in my life I'm in total control of the cost on. So, but you're in total control of the cost, and let me show you how. So there's 3 ways to fund this program.
Okay.
All right. The first way is what we call a defined contribution. And that's where you pick a plan for everyone. Like for instance, that accident plan that I talked to you about. You said, hey, this is a great policy. I think everybody in my plan, in my company should have this plan. I'm gonna pay for that plan for everyone every month.
Okay.
You know? So that's one way to do it, and that's great. I think that comes out to maybe 30 cents an hour raise or something like that. So very minimal to put that on your employees. That's one way to do it.
Okay.
The second way to fund it, and this is my favorite way because I think it gives the employees more options. This is where the control piece comes in as well. Is what we call a benefit bank.
Okay.
So a benefit bank is a set dollar amount that you feel comfortable with, that you can budget for year over year. That's net, because our policies, they never increase in price.
Okay.
So it's a set price every month. Once you're locked into that, that's what the price will be forever.
Okay.
But the benefit bank companies, like business owners like yourself, like this because they can put out a dollar amount that they feel comfortable with, and then they put that money up, and the employees get to pick and choose what best suits them. So we talked about all the different options there. So if you say, hey, I'm going to give everybody $100 a month, and some employees might spend that on the best cancer plan and a higher dental plan. Some employees might get short-term disability, life insurance, but you're not putting them in a box, and usually they feel very grateful for that.
Okay.
So in the past, I've seen companies, HVAC companies, in y'all's position. I know you mentioned costs are tight with medical and things like that, but I've seen companies do, $75 a month per employee. That usually gets them 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 plans, and it goes a long way with the employees. So I'm just throwing this out there, but is $75 something like you feel like you could do per employee a month?
I mean, I'd have to look, and I think we could definitely do something. I really just need to go ask my employees, is this something they're interested in? We didn't have a lot of interest in the Aflac.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I understand. Well, so to talk about that, so we have it, it's part of our process. It's part of our budget. What I can do is I can come out and poll the employees for you.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you guys meet early in the morning. I'd be willing to come out here when the guys are getting ready to go out, bring some tacos, some kolaches or something.
I like tacos.
All right. I'd be willing to come out and give them each a packet and just get them all together for 10 minutes and just give them a high level overview of the policies. And sometimes it comes, they can understand it better from somebody that does it every day. No offense to you, but you're good at doing HVAC stuff. You send me out there, I probably do a bad job. I'm not saying you do a bad job on this presentation, but typically whenever somebody comes in and lets our team come in and explain it to them, we'll get a lot more interest and a lot more buy-in.
Okay, that's fair enough. We have safety meeting every Monday morning. Okay. So maybe we could do something around that.
Yeah, absolutely. I can be out here Monday with that. And let me tell you this too. I know you said you'd have to look at some things on the funding of it, but there's another way we can fund this plan, and sometimes this is the best option for folks. I want to just educate you on it and let you know this is available. So the third way to fund this would be a voluntary program.
Okay.
So voluntary means where you have no hard costs. Like you're not putting hard dollars towards these benefits. There are some soft costs for you and Susie because you'll have to enter payroll one time and you'll have to pay a bill once a month and manage that. But that is another way that and like I said, all these policies are between $4 and $10 a week. So the employees, under the right settings and conditions, if you just offer it to them, even if you're not contributing, we'll see 75-80% of people enroll. So
I think I like the benefit bank thing you talked about. I gotta look at the budget and see what we can do on that. But I think we can do something on that. I'd like to be able to say, hey, we're going to provide this for you because we've had to take away from the health insurance so much and make that more expensive for them. So I think that's an affordable way for us to do that.
Absolutely. No, and that's great. And so the only thing I'd ask you between now and Monday, so today's Tuesday, and it's always, you'll see, obviously the guys would be very interested. It'll be a different tune if I get to talk to them and say, hey, Riley believes in what we're doing. He's going to invest in you guys, and he's actually going to give you guys $50 a month to put towards these plans, where as opposed to going out there and saying, hey, are you, this is a plan we're thinking of doing. Me and the owner are talking, but he wanted me to present it. So do you think that between now and Monday, you could look at some things with Susie, and if you need me on it, that's cool too. to help with whatever and decide what you're comfortable with. Because if I come out and present it that way, you know, you'll see employee morale, like, you know, people will, it'll be really good.
Yeah, we can do that. Today's Monday. I can have you answer by the end of the week.
Okay, perfect. And that'll just help me with the presentation and how we go about talking about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit of next steps after Monday. So regardless if you choose to put up hard dollars or not, you're giving me the opportunity to come out and present. So I know I've been doing this a long time, that whenever I go out and present, there with the size of the amount of employees you have, there's going to be interest.
Okay.
All right. So what do we do after that?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So after that, what we find is, you know, 24 to 48 hours, what we can do is send our team of those certified benefits counselors out here on site.
Okay.
And then I can get with Susie because she knows their schedule and everything. And if you guys could assign time slots to everybody, I can tell them on Monday, hey, Susie's going to be getting with you to sell you your time slot for Wednesday or whatever.
So they don't all have to come together at one point?
No,
okay.
No, we just need about 15 minutes per employee.
Okay.
All right, 15 minutes per employee, and then we're in and out. We could probably knock this out in a day and a half, and then you know we're out of here till the next year.
Given these guys come into the office, they get their assignments and they leave, is that something you guys can do early in the mornings?
Absolutely.
We may have to break that up in a couple of days to get everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I usually, you know your schedule better than me, obviously. So I usually just work hand in hand with you or Susie to figure out the timing of everything and the enrollment. But it is important that every employee sits down and we get an election or a enrollment or a waiver on file. Just because that just covers. You know, that means we covered everybody's, you know, liabilities as far as, you know, they were seen, they had an opportunity to enroll and they chose not to, or they chose to, and we just have a record of everyone. So it's going to be important that we see everybody. But with this meeting on Monday, you know, at least they'll be ready. It will streamline the process and make them ready to enroll that following day. So can we put that on the calendar for Wednesday? If I come out here Monday, can we make the enrollment Wednesday?
Yeah, I think we can do that. I can set you up with Susie and she can coordinate all of that. So let me ask you this. You know, we're in August. Normally we do our health insurance in December.
Yeah.
Is that something we can do at the same time?
Yeah. So
like next year?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're willing, I mean, obviously you see you've shared with me that you see the value, like you think this stuff would be beneficial. So what I'd hate to do is hate to wait 6 months and have that time for something to happen to somebody.
Okay.
So what I could propose is us enrolling it now.
Okay.
I'm making it effective the first of the month, next month. And then we'll run what we call a short plan year. And when you do your open enrollment for your medical, we'll re-enroll all our benefits and make it all, just do that process with Gather and stream. Yeah, and then everything will be effective. All your benefits will be effective December 1st from then on. So yeah, that's no problem. We do it all the time and make that, we can accommodate that.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna be waiting for a call from you to hear about, that dollar amount that you feel comfortable with, and then we'll be out here Monday. And we'll talk more Monday about the scheduling and be prepared for Wednesday in the enrollment.
Do I have to sign anything or?
Absolutely, yep. So the last thing I need to do before I get out of here is fill out a FAST form.
Okay.
And this isn't a contract, all right? Okay. So I know you said you weren't sure if people were gonna be interested.
Yeah.
This doesn't bind you to anything at all. All it does is I get your EIN, I get your legal business name, and basically it tells Colonial Life you're a real business. I didn't pull people off the streets and call them Hunter's HVAC. And then if the enrollment does happen, it sets up all the back end billing and all the stuff to make all the technology talk to each other, make sure the policies get issued, underwriting, and all that stuff happens, and then you can be billed correctly.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It'll take about 5 minutes. We can do it right here. I have most of the information loaded.
Sure.
We can knock that out, and then we'll be back out here Monday.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.